What the Rock is cooking.
What up, everyone? Welcome to The Rock Block.
Baller Breakdown!
Baller Breakdown. Meow, meow, meow.
Pew, pew, pew.
We have decided to begin our adventure into watching Ballers, the HBO show starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
As always, we're your hosts. I'm Aaron.
I'm Zach.
I'm Sloan.
And we're here to bring you, we just watched episode 1 and episode 2, so we're going to kind of break it down a little bit and kind of get into it. Yeah,
So,
Ballers
yeah.
Breakdown. I guess that's what we're going with.
And we're introducing the show as the show has introduced itself to us in these first 2 episodes.
Ever forward.
I've got a bit of a thought experiment here.
What do you got?
did you guys think before watching a second of the show? What did you think Ballers was
I
about?
expected Dwayne shirtless, a lot of money, and on boats. I pictured a lot more boats than I saw, and a
Boats.
lot of, if not naked women, semi-naked women. That's kind of what I expected, and it's not what I got, but I don't see that not happening in the future.
I kind of feel the same way. Kind of a Wolf of Wall Street if Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio was browner and
Balder.
200% bigger.
And balder.
Lots of breasts, lots of boats, lots of cash.
Yeah.
And
We've got 4 seasons to get through this. This is just episode 1 and 2. I think we have a lot to go through.
Yeah, we weren't
does
too
anyone
far
know
off.
how many episodes are in each season? Like, roughly.
I mean, I'm
You have any idea?
going to assume 8 to 10, but I can double check that
I can
right
see that
now.
being
'cause
more.
we
It's an
have-
HBO show, so you never really know.
No, a lot of times they are just I think a lot of times they're a 10 episode
Yeah.
season
I
thing.
could see that. There's a lot of places it could go based on where it started, so I'm pretty excited to see, the transition.
yeah, I am excited to hate this show.
You're excited to hate it? I feel like the beginning is going to be the worst part.
Yeah,
Once it
it's
gets
gonna-
into itself, I feel like it's
The
going to get really
beginning
good.
is going to be the best part because,
What?
as you all know, a brand new series streaming will
That's with
entice the audience.
That's with Netflix. This isn't
Well,
a streaming show. This is an HBO show.
HBO Go.
HBO consistently show. No, it's not HBO Go. It's just HBO.
It's HBO, dude.
Well,
They consistently show
I like to
titties on
finish
HBO.
my thought. I think that a lot of new shows entice the audience with supple breasts in the first episode.
I would agree.
They sex you up and like you're gonna come if you watch this show. You're
I don't
gonna
think
come.
but I think breasts make you pay attention more and make you want to watch more.
Breast rule, and
Breast
we
rule.
all know that, and they know it, and they pump you filled with breasts on the first episode, and then leave you.
I wouldn't say they filled us with breasts. I would say they
No.
had some breasts, and I wouldn't
more
expect...
breasts than I've seen all day.
Yeah, I've seen all day. I expect there to be more in the future, though. I don't think it's all done from here.
Yeah,
That'd be
I hope
foolish.
we get more breasts.
There's
but
no breasts on a boat yet.
It's already tapered.
If I don't get what I want, I'm going to be upset.
Me too.
So-
But I trust The Rock to lead us to a path of glory and breasts.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've been talking a lot, but let's just consider if our audience, if you guys have never heard of or seen Ballers, we should tell you what the show now is actually about.
Yeah, it turns out it's not boats and breasts and money.
Here's the thing, like you guys mentioned, okay, this is the beginning of the show. You can't start out with or you could, but that might not be the most interesting show, start out with a success. This is about a
I don't
man
know.
that
I
becomes
argue-
a success.
There's
That's
a
what
lot
the
of-
show is
I like
about.
that too. I can
The
see
show
the
is
way it
about
might go.
him because we've seen like we've seen the trailers for the newer seasons.
I have not.
Well, they pop up sometimes on HBO, and yeah, it's building to something. He
Yeah.
has to start from somewhere. He started at so some backstory. This show is about The Rock, and in the show, he was a former football player, which he was in real life.
I got football question mark was one of my things.
Yeah, in the intro there is
Ballers. It's footballers.
Turns out it's footballers.
in the intro, there's footage of like The Rock in different situations, and I believe that they did use actual footage from when The Rock
It
played
looked like it.
Oh.
football in Canada.
Yeah.
Can we pause and talk about that intro for a second? I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
The intro is
Explain the
interesting.
show
It had a lot
first.
of footage from his real life, it looked like selfie camera talking to fans, which I did like.
It was genuine in a way, too genuine, because the text graphics on this looked like shit.
It looked
They
bad.
looked like my 6th grade PowerPoint, and it did not give me a lot of confidence for this show.
It's true. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah. It was a
Anyway,
lot.
so the show is about The Rock was a football player. He was a baller. And as we could see, and we could get into that a little bit more, but, typical story. He got hurt. He got injured. He couldn't play football anymore. He retired. And then he got into a job in finance. And
Did he get hurt in this show? Or are you talking about real life still?
in the show. I'm
I
sure
don't
he
think
has
I don't think he mentioned that he was hurt in,
He had
in
a
the
bit
show
of a
yet.
limp.
guys.
He had a limp.
Here's the
He had like barely a limp.
I don't know if
He had
that
a
was a
limp when he
limp
woke
or
up that one
I
time.
have a lot of muscles.
It was that one
No,
time. He has not
guys.
showed an injury
You
since.
really didn't pick up on that at all?
He had a little bit of flashback once.
No. Okay, so if you were paying
Walk
attention...
us through it, Bronner.
If you're paying
I
attention...
watched the same thing you
If you
did.
were paying attention to
I was
the
paying
show,
attention.
you would see that
I wasn't.
he was constantly popping prescription
Pills.
drugs.
Yes.
And then he
Okay,
and then
yes.
he talked about
Good
when it
point.
was time. So he was referred to. He's known as the golden boy of football. It sounds like he's the guy that did everything right, did everything by the book, wasn't an embarrassment to his team, and
Yeah.
he was a good player.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know what I got from that? Nothing. Nobody
Not
thanked me
shit.
for
Nothing.
shit because
I got
they
hurt.
used him and abused him. He got hurt. He
Yeah.
couldn't play anymore. Now he has a prescription drug addiction. Maybe that could maybe
Which also
have to-
healthy, whatever it
side
is.
segment. He chooses pills.
Because he's a
Choose his
man.
pills.
He chews them instead of swallowing them with water like a normal
Yeah.
person.
So
he crunches on them
we
like an
see
Must be
that
all those like
he's
jaw muscles.
I assume that is the only way he can.
It's got to be
pull it off.
muscle related.
So we can see in the show that he was a winner and then he got knocked down, but
Yeah.
as Chumbawamba says,
Chumbawamba?
Chumbawamba says
Who's
he gets
Chumbawamba?
back
He
up
gets
again.
back up again.
He's getting back up again, and he's trying to make his new life
They never
still
keep
with
him back
the
down.
Ballers.
Yes.
Working with the Ballers, being a financial advisor to Ballers. And so we find out that the guy that hired him at his financing firm was played by Rob Corddry. I don't remember his character's name. We're just going to call him Rob.
I don't
'cause
remember the
that's his
actor's name,
That's
so good
his
on you
name?
for looking
Well,
that up.
His name's Rob Corddry.
He's the
very
funny bald guy
He's,
that's in some
he's funny.
shows sometimes.
He's in stuff.
He's in movies. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
You guys know who he is. He's got a pointed nose.
If
bald
you look
head.
up the name,
You know,
Yeah, you'll
it's
get
Corddry
it.
with 2 D's, people, and he's got a brother that's a lot cuter than him.
Oh.
Anyway, so
This man was
Rob
not very
Corddry.
cute.
he was not very cute. I expect
Yeah.
his brother
His-
to be
his
kind
brother's
of like
pretty
much cuter
His
than
brother's pretty
the
cute.
bar is not set very high.
Yeah.
So
He'd be a lot if you picture him with hair.
I can't.
can't. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't.
He doesn't
though.
have
His
hair.
brother's
I
kind of like
can't.
him with hair and then a little bit nicer face. Anyway,
Okay,
So-
you say so.
He's a character that
No offense, Rob
in
Corddry.
TV and film, he's always characterized as being the funny man that's always very like
Raunchy.
Pervy.
It's raunchy.
No, he's
raunchy,
pervy, sexual.
bald perv. He's
Yeah.
bald perv.
And he does that, and I kind of like
It,
it.
it
does it well.
seems like a good fit for the show.
It does.
So anyway, back to the plot of the show.
Yes.
So he's talking to the guy he works with, kind of like his boss, not like his boss, but like the guy he answers to at work is Rob Corddry. We find out he hired. Why did you do it right in there? He hired Dwayne. So Dwayne hasn't been doing too good at his job. He's not been aggressive enough trying to get clients.
Because
And
I feel like he cares too much about his clients. He cares too much about
He
taking
doesn't-
advantage of them.
So yeah, so the thing is that we
He's
find
not
out
cold-blooded
The
enough.
Rock was hired, or his name in the show is Spencer. Spence was hired.
Weakest
hold
name
on,
that The
hold
Rock
on. Let
has
me
ever
just
donned.
hold on. Let's just finish this.
Fucking worst name.
So The Rock was hired for his access because he was a footballer. He still has football player friends.
Yeah.
They hired him because they thought that he could get access to very high end clients playing football. Turns
Yeah.
out The Rock has been aggressive enough, but then in the first and second episode is where he's trying to make some money, wheel and deal,
Be more
and get
aggressive.
those
The deal.
clients. And
Yeah.
also, because he's a good person always, The Rock is always a good person, it's for their best interest. The
Yeah.
clients he decides to go after, it's because it's good for them.
And I think it kind of puts him
'Cause
in
The
the
Rock is always a good
crosshairs a little
guy.
bit. Like, he makes some mistakes that I think will end up hurting him in the long run.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe not good decisions.
The first episode, it starts out with we open with The Rock. He's with a naked lady in his
Oh
bed.
yeah, naked broad in bed. That's
Yeah.
what I wrote. I
Right
can cross
away.
that off now.
Scene.
Naked broad
We
in
see-
bed.
Yeah, she's very good looking, and it sets the scene for The Rock being
Do we get
successful.
any? We don't know anything about her. It hasn't brought her
She-
up again. She was just
She-
random naked
she-
lady in
she-
She
bed.
random broad or
No,
was
she-
Random
she-
broad.
Okay, we'll get to that. She was brought up in episode 2. We'll get to that.
Ah.
Okay,
So,
I'm glad you'll fill us in.
so that's the opening scene, and then we go to a different guy with a different lady. They're in a car. Dude's wearing furs. He's got a big old Super Bowl ring.
He's balling
And she's
out.
like,
He's balling.
"Ooh,
He's a baller.
I'm sexy. Do you love me? Would you? How much you love me?
baby.
I'm a sexy baby.
Yeah.
How much do you love me? Do you love me more than football?
She
do
does
you love
this
me
a lot.
More? Do you love me more than
Yeah, it's weird.
than your Super Bowl ring? Do you love me more than your wife? And she,
Boom.
and then,
And then
he's
she
like,
grabs his balls.
because he didn't leave his wife. Turns out the guy, so this guy, he's a dude. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's got like a fur vest, and he's driving fast.
Driving fast.
through the
Driving
streets
so
of-
reckless.
Through the streets
So
of Miami.
reckless.
He's
It's horrible.
going through, and then she's like, "Do you love me more than your wife?" And then she starts like punching him in the face because turns out that's the mistress.
Yeah, it's true. She hit him in the
And
face a lot. That was
She's
weird.
the other woman.
Bitches
Yeah.
be crazy. She caused a car accident that
Bitches
killed
be
them
crazy.
both.
Boom.
Did you write
Dead.
Bitches be crazy?
Dead.
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Bitches be crazy. Dead man.
Nice.
Right
So
away.
she killed them.
Right
Yes.
away, we have 2 dead people.
And we go to a funeral where The
Funeral.
Rock
They're
is
semi-relevant.
speaking at the funeral.
The funeral was an interesting segment because we're all thinking it. The funeral hose.
Funeral hose.
There was the sexiest funeral that I can remember on film.
Same. Yeah. There was a girl who was flashing her upstairs at the Rock, and I wrote down Hard Rock.
Red panties at the funeral.
I
That
remember the color.
I do.
Oh,
it was,
Yes, they
interesting.
were red.
Interesting.
I
crossing
wrote
the-
it was
down-
out there for you to view.
Yeah.
And when she flashed him, The Rock was talking about being a defensive end, and I wrote, she ain't got no defense.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
She's open.
Touch.
Open for the pass, if you know what I'm saying.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, baby.
Touchdown. And that kind of brings me to the next
Fumble
point.
all over that
was-
pussy.
End zone.
Not only
quarterback.
is some of
Yeah,
our
so-
knowledge on The Rock limited, but you know what's also limited? Our knowledge on football.
Our knowledge
and that's
on
what this
football.
whole show is about. It's about
Fine.
football.
I would say-
I can't wait to not know what they're talking about all the time.
I did know what special team meant. That was a football.
Special team is a
term.
thing. That's when
where
they, like, the kicks
field
and the
goals
weird
shit.
things.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised we both know this.
Yeah.
because
I know a little bit. I don't know when they're talking about like specifics.
we're gonna get lost quickly.
Oh, I'm already lost. 2
Anyway.
episodes in and I'm lost.
Okay, so back to the plot. So this is I just brought this up. I'm trying to backtrack to how the show went because, as I said, we see throughout this first episode and the second episode that The Rock, he's always a good guy deep down, even if he's fucking bitches.
He's always a good guy.
He is a good guy. So at this funeral, we find out, the football player died in a car accident with his mistress in the car, and then we find
what's
out
up.
he didn't have his finances in
Nike
order.
rest his soul.
Not even
didn't
close.
he didn't have a will.
He didn't have a money guy.
His wife was left with nothing. There was nothing. I'm assuming,
That's
as what
right,
happens
yeah.
if you don't have a will set up when you die, then if you have things, it goes to the state, and then the people that are left have to get into weird legal battles with the state to get your stuff back.
Don't know.
Which is
Not
why,
important to the
Need
plot.
a money
guys,
guy.
even
It was kind of important to the plot
I would
because-
like to
Because
make
he
an
needed a money
announcement.
guy.
An
It shows
announcement.
a value
Yes.
of the money guy.
So that's how then we're introduced to The Rock and his
Yes.
job. And then that makes him think, you know what? It's not necessarily taking, he feels weird. He feels like maybe he's taking advantage of his friendships.
Yes.
But he sees at this funeral
That's his
that he
apprehension.
can do good for these guys because they're not handling their money right. So he
Yeah.
realized that there is some good that he
He
can
I
doesn't
do.
think that's
want
why
them
he
to make-
starts being more aggressive because
Yes.
he realizes
Yes, that's
people
why
are
I
kind of a
set this
little
up.
bit more
That's how they
willy-nilly.
set it up.
He
Yeah.
doesn't want
With their
them to make
assets.
the same mistakes as he did.
Yes.
That too.
And
yeah.
real quick, I want to hit on something that I think The Rock is channeling a vibe that he does in a lot of his films.
Father figure.
With the
Father figure. I got that too.
Oh,
the
sorry,
starting
sorry.
from nothing, work your way up feeling.
Yeah.
He gives
Oh,
off
okay,
the
sorry.
vibes like he's very self-made. He's got here, and now he's
That's
gonna
true.
kind of mentor these fuckboys.
It kind of echoes the story of his real life.
Absolutely.
It's like with both the mentoring too. He's always I wrote down, he's a father figure again, even though he's not an actual dad. He's a father figure to these young ballers.
I think he's a father figure to us all.
He's a
Yes.
yeah.
He's Zeus, man. He's the father of all.
You know, he kind of
Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy Zeus.
Big Daddy Zeus.
I have goosebumps, guys.
My next thing I wrote down was so many football references I don't get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
used
quarter
to it.
half-timed the pinch hitter here, and it was quite a,
that even a football word?
touchdown.
Pinch hitter?
So
That's
hitter.
baseball.
I
another
was gonna
thing,
say,
that
that's
first episode, it was a lot of football talk, right? And a lot of importance
Did you guys get lost?
on this other guy being like a big deal. Like his
Which
this guy,
one, Ricky or Vernon?
The guy who was signed eventually.
The
Okay, so I was
Tight
just
end,
hold on
quarter fucking-
hold
Yeah,
on. Let me just
before I
set it
get into
up
this.
because they're gonna be confused. They didn't watch it with us. So it's focusing. So there's a few different storylines going on at the same time where they all know each other. So we have
Story
the Rock.
moves so quickly.
So we have the Rock. He's
So quickly.
ex-footballer, retired footballer,
One scene to
finance
the
guy.
next.
We have three other main characters. We have Green. He's a retired early. His
Yes.
wife is a doctor. And
Can we
then
talk about
no,
Green for
let
a
me
sec?
just let me just say them all. And then
Okay.
we have Vernon. He's a young guy. He's only 24. He's doing really good in football, but his finances are crazy. He's letting a guy from like his hometown
Let his friends run all over
run
him.
his money and spend all of his money. He has
Yeah.
a ton of people that he doesn't even know living in his house and spending
Yeah.
all his money. His millions are already gone.
Seems sad.
He just got like 3 million and then it's all
No,
gone.
300,000.
No, because they started the starting contract. He had a few million. It's
God,
already
how
gone.
do you
he
lose
dumped
$3
$3 million.
He dumped like 2 million already.
That's some bad roommates.
And then our third character is Ricky, and he's also a star, but he's just like also irresponsible in a different way. He's not good at his public image.
Ricky likes
Yeah.
He's
pussy.
going out. Yeah, he's
He likes
going.
pussy, he likes
going
fighting.
To he loves. Yes, he goes out to clubs. He causes a ruckus when he goes out, and it's got him in trouble with his teams.
But it
So,
titillates the audience.
those are our characters. We have The Rock, or we have Spencer, The Rock, the manager.
God, I hate that name for him
I hate
so
Spencer.
much. I hate that name for
Spencer
him.
Bad
should be
name.
the name of the little paper clip on Microsoft
This should be
Word.
Rob
Not
Corddry's name.
Dwayne The
Rob
Rock Johnson.
Corddry is a
Spencer.
Spencer. That's a pervy bald guy's a Spencer.
Yeah.
That's what Rob
I
Corddry
imagine
is.
Spencer's with glasses.
Yeah. So we have that. Then we have Green, nice guy,
I remember because he wore a green
doctor
shirt.
wife. Vernon, spending his money. He's got a shitty friend that's taking all his
We'll
money.
get more of him
And then we
eventually.
got Ricky, the star that fucks too much and punches too much.
So
just
my
want to set up.
my gripe came in with Ricky. It kept talking about how like the story was so focused on him being a good football player, and he needs to get signed to a team because he's so good, but his public image is bad. But we didn't get any like highlighted football clips of him being good. We didn't get any
never saw
evidence of him being good.
There was
not
no
a
reason
single time.
to
Because he's
respect him.
You know, I was gonna say because he's an actor, so like maybe he can't play football, but they can just we can.
I would just say if I was
stunt
making the
double.
show
We
and you're
can't
trying
stunt
to
double.
make
You're-
like your football players in the show good, maybe have a couple
I
football
think
things. You
here's-
could have
Give me
like
a
2
montage.
plays
Hold
and it
on.
would be really good.
Hold on.
I don't know football and I
It's
know.
still our first episode, and we are setting up the characters. We're meeting we had a lot to set up in 34 minutes.
Yeah, and they
That's true.
did not
A lot
set
of
up
stories
his
to
football
set up.
skills.
A
Zach
lot-
has a good point
They
there.
could have done it a slower burn, I feel.
You know, because of the money that
They-
he has, that he's good.
They do set
don't
up
believe
his money.
He
His
has
money.
a gold fur blanket on his bed, guys, and that's not the only blanket.
I don't care. I want to see how good he is.
Okay, maybe we'll get to that later.
Yeah, maybe we'll get
I think
to
there'll
that.
be more balling
I'll cross that one out.
later. I think they're going to show more footballing. It's just setting up the story, setting up The Rock. Okay, so do you guys want to get into now Vernon, his story with The Rock?
Trying to talk about breasts.
Oh, okay.
Was that Vernon?
No, that's still Ricky. Keep going.
Still Ricky. Well, let's flesh out Ricky for a second.
Okay.
So Ricky is at a club.
Yeah.
And this all goes very fast.
Very-
Yeah, the story moves so quickly
So,
between one scene and the
Ricky
next.
is this football player. He's got a beard. He's
That's a
kind
gripe.
of a little edgier looking.
Oh, sorry.
He's cool looking. He's the cool guy. He's successful.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. You blink and he's fucking this
Slamming
broad.
ass in the bathroom.
He is banging, swinging titties in the bathroom.
That's the
He
only
is-
breast we got in the whole episode.
That's not true. That's
Oh,
not true.
wow,
There was
okay.
another pair, a larger pair.
In like 2 seconds
Oh, that's
later.
true. Yeah, his manager. Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
Ricky.
so he nuts in this girl and he goes out of the
Does he nut
bathroom.
in her?
I assume. He,
assume?
he's all that power. All
He's
that
got to
power.
have a
He
condom.
could have it wrapped.
It doesn't matter.
I feel like if they would have shown that he nutted in her, it would be setting up for a future thing where he has a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say he nuts all over the bathroom. It's fine. His nut is nowhere to be seen.
His nut is-
He comes. Dude doesn't even
matter.
come. He puts it away.
He comes.
Coming
Dude comes.
all over her.
He comes, puts it all in his pocket, and he goes outside of the bathroom, and some fucking jabroni.
Hold on, not just any jabroni. If you guys remember,
Mark Wahlberg.
If you guys remember the Disney film Luck of the Irish, it's the guy from that, but now he's a grown-up. And just if anybody else saw that movie, I thought he was really cute when I was 8.
Out of our 4 fans, I do not think
Sarah
any of
might
them-
know.
Doesn't
Shout
matter.
out to
This shit's-
Sarah.
this shit's gonna
Shout out
blow
to
up.
Sarah. I bet she watched Disney shows and movies.
I don't know
Well,
if she's in Luck of the Irish.
Disney Channel movies.
so Luck of the Irish turned into a real asshole.
Frat
and,
boy.
Yeah,
he's a
fucking-
frat boy, and he's kind of chiding this guy, kind of trying to get his goat, but then he references his dead friend.
Yeah,
And
hard.
that is
Because they're at the club, because they're celebrating their friend's life, because they know, like, the guy that died in the car accident,
In the beginning.
they're going out to, like, celebrate his life. Like, they're going to mourn by, like, doing what he loves. They go to his favorite
An
club.
Irish funeral.
Yeah.
They go to his favorite club where he was always banging the bottle service girls.
always. We all love
So,
bottle service
okay,
girls.
I just wanted to... So that's what's going on. And then what happens,
Pud,
Aaron?
pud, pud, pud.
What happens? He talks some shit, then what
Talks
happens?
some shit, and then he does mention this dead friend, and then boom, Vernon goes off.
No, Ricky.
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 Ricky goes off.
Boom, Ricky goes off, and Ricky starts beating this guy's ass.
I wanted him to beat him
punch-
up more.
Like
That guy stood up again and
he was
fine.
kicking his ass, but yeah, the guy did stand
can't
up at
get
the
too
end.
dark.
But basically,
Why not?
this was a PR disaster for
Disaster.
Ricky.
Ricky.
And that is gonna cause him professional troubles, as he has been in the NFL for 8 years at this point. But
you remember
He's
the
already-
number that he was in there for,
He's
but not
already
his
on-
name?
He's already on his second team.
Crazy.
Confusing.
Crazy.
It sounds like he's on his second team, and he got traded to the team he's on because of similar things.
Thin ice.
Getting crazy
okay.
on
Ricky
Twitter.
Gervais is on
Ricky
thin
Gervais is on
ice.
thin ice.
They should not pick a Ricky Gervais
Yeah.
picture. Ricky
So,
Gervais in this scenario.
Ricky Gervais is on thin ice.
The dude bashes some gash, and then he bashes some bully.
Yeah.
And now he's in the news as being a fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem for our boy Ricky. And then it cuts to probably the next part of the episode.
So, if you want to talk about Vernon, so Vernon, as we mentioned, he's a young guy. He's only 24. He's very new in the NFL. He got a $2 million contract. Blew it, and he calls up The Rock. It sounds like they just know each other. They're friends. They're in the same circle.
Yeah, I don't know how they know
And
each other yet.
I think it's just that they're in the same circle of friends. They're all like play football, and he likes to mentor these young guys. And he's like, "Dude, I need some. I'm doing bad right now. Could I get a loan?" He's like, yeah, dude. How much you need? And he's like, $300,000. And he's like, what?
an absurd amount to
And
even
then he's
ask
like,
for.
Yeah.
That's
well,
so
hold
much.
on. And then
Power
The Rock's
play.
like, what? He's like, yeah, dude, my family's got to eat because his house
Turns
is
out his
just
family's like
full
30 people.
of family and friends and people he doesn't fucking
he
know.
has the entire state
Buying
of Florida eating at
iPads,
his
getting
table.
fucking snow crab legs, getting fucking what's that fancy
Caviar?
Cristal. They're just popping bottles.
Are they popping bottles?
They got Cristal at the brunch. We'll get to that. So
I didn't know
they ordered
They
Cristal.
were balling.
They were balling.
So it's
show was
just
called Ballers.
Yeah, they
constant
ball.
spending. His money's gone, and The Rock's like I'll think about it. But The Rock, he's been having some problems with Rob Corddry at work. Rob Corddry's like, you're not being aggressive enough. I need you to use these friends or you're fucking done.
Yeah.
So The Rock's like, this is an opportunity. You know what? I'm gonna loan him this money, and it's gonna get his trust, and he's gonna be my client. I'm gonna take over his finances. I'm not gonna spend his money because The Rock is a good guy. The Rock is both doing better at his job by doing this,
Yeah.
but also
And helping his friend.
a guy that he knows is going in a bad path.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A similar
But
path
he's
that he
also
could have gone on.
taking
Classic
a
altruistic
huge risk.
Rock.
Taking
Classic.
a huge risk because that's all of his money.
That's so
Yeah,
much money.
yeah. He.
I can imagine having
we
this money.
briefly see him at the ATM. He spent every penny.
He was trying to get like $300
He doesn't
out.
have.
He couldn't.
Yeah, like 200 or 300.
He spent
He did
all
not
of his
have
money.
that. He overdrafted.
So he is giving
pink collar.
all of his money, just trying to bet on this dumb
is-
24-year-old.
Quite a Hail Mary.
Nice. Nice.
Very-
Football, dude. Football.
cool.
Football.
Yeah.
Kick off to that.
Touchdown me.
That was good.
Yeah. So
First down.
that's going on. Then we get more to it, and then just like as the episode progresses, The Rock, he's should I call him The Rock or Spencer? Because his character is
Spencer.
Spencer.
I will never call him Spencer.
Fuck, I will never call him Spencer.
Like, you call him Spence because it's a little cooler than Spencer. But
It's
Spence is
still
cool.
like,
Spence is
if
the
you're
cool
making this
nickname.
show, why would you ever call The Rock Spencer?
Mm-hmm.
Spence is what you call like your 10-year-old nephew, like that just
Yeah.
caught bugs.
What's up,
Like, hey,
Spence?
Spence, you got any grasshoppers in your bug catcher today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not calling a 3,000-pound
Like,
man with
you
4
play-
arms worth of biceps.
Yeah.
I'm not calling him Spence.
Just say you play badminton with a Spence.
Yes.
You don't ball with.
I would just say, not even Batman, I would say just like, Spencer has asthma.
He has asthma.
Like, I can't imagine The Rock having asthma.
You can't.
So, like, yeah, I just can't.
So, anyway. So, The Rock. He's taking a risk, and he's also... He's taken a page out of the book of his old manager, who is Vernon and Ricky's manager.
Yes.
This guy was The Rock's manager when he played football, and he knows, and his manager, he's talking to his manager's like, dude, you're making a mistake, he's not going to pay you back, you're not going to get anything out of this. And he's like, well,
$300,000, that's a
then,
lot.
and then The Rock's like, you know what, you gave me 50 grand back in the day, and it worked out good for you, and he's like, yeah, but I knew you were good for it, and he's like, well, I believe in this kid.
I think The Rock, at that moment, I think The Rock doubted himself. He said,
Oh, yeah.
like, you gave me $50,000,
He knew
but
he-
I didn't know I was good for it.
Yeah, he was being humble.
Yeah.
He was
Of
like,
course.
that wasn't a sure thing.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
know
it
The
was
Rock
good.
is a golden boy, and he's good to his
just
word.
'cause
So
we know
we
who
don't
he
know.
The audience knows that it was a 100% win, but
So-
The Rock doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, taking a page of that. So then that guy comes up quite a bit, the manager. Which is our second set of titties, by the way.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
we're gonna
the second
backtrack
set
to
of
Ricky,
titties is much better than the
We're
first
gonna-
set.
There was
They're more
more of them.
plastic.
They were more
Sculpted.
visible.
They're-
more
Yeah.
visible.
You know what?
Plastic. Plastic, but visible.
Sculpted is a nice way to
The,
put
the
it.
Sculpted.
whole woman was sculpted.
Yes.
Though. She was
Yeah.
very, very fine.
Yeah.
So if we go back,
Statuesque.
if we go back to Ricky, I don't want to call her statuesque. She's not like that. Makes her sound important, and she's
a
not.
hump statue.
She was just
She's a
riding
hump
dick.
statue.
She's not
Whatever that
statuesque.
means.
Dick rider.
she was-
She was just a POV
Sculpted.
ass shot. So anyway,
Meant to look sexy, and that's it.
and it
Yes.
worked. She was very sexy.
get over it. Okay, so Ricky, he fucked a girl. He beat a dude up, and then The Rock is like, call your manager right now. That manager was The Rock's manager. It's also Vernon's manager. It's Ricky's manager. And then we cut to his manager getting banged
Manager's getting ass hard.
backwards cowgirl by some blonde,
Good,
fake blonde,
good
with fake
position
titties.
acknowledgement.
And then he's like,
Yeah.
hold on a second. And then she just folds over.
She
And he's
folds
like,
over.
She folds over.
He is still inside.
He's still inside
And he
her.
wraps up his call.
Yeah, that's what I expected
Because
from
that's
this show.
what men
badass.
do.
That's what men do.
That's what men do.
Finish up our business with the dicks and pussy.
All right.
Doing it wet all day. So,
Oh.
anyway.
Yeah, dude, I have sex
So, anyway, we've talked
with
too
lots
much.
of girls.
So, this is kind of this is you guys are saying it's not what you expected. This is what we were expecting from the show. It's Entourage, but with football.
No, the
But-
reverse cowgirl is what I expected from the show.
And so we got a little bit of that. And I think it's
Yeah.
going to ebb and flow.
I was happy with that.
Now we need to talk about Green.
Green.
I got some things
Now,
on green I want
this
to talk
is
about.
this is our guy that we really like. We love him on camera. He's a great
Yeah.
character, and his wife is
Loved
also
him in
great.
Star Wars Rogue One. I thought he was a pretty interesting, the
he in
leader
Rogue
of the
One?
bounty
I haven't seen the movie.
hunters,
Forrest
or-
Whitaker is in that.
Oh, okay.
He looks a lot younger in this one.
People have this is the guy that's that young actor that kind of looks like Forrest Whitaker. I don't remember
They
his
must
name.
have taped one of his eyes up.
I
'cause
don't believe that guy's comment saying he's not related to
No,
Forrest Whitaker
I
because
think-
You think he
so-
secretly
he is
is?
I
hiding
think he
the
looks
truth.
a lot like he looks like Forrest Whitaker's in his family somewhere.
His
I
name-
have never seen
Hold
Wikipedia
on.
Live before.
His name is Omar Benson Miller.
Coincidence?
Yeah, fucking
Sounds a lot like Forrest
everyone
Whitaker.
calls The Rock The Rock.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Look it up. That's not Johnson.
So he's a guy. He's as we mentioned earlier. He retired early. He's got a wife that's a
Too early.
doctor.
He only was in the game for 2 years.
Him and his wife are the best characters in the show so far.
Like NFL for 2 years. He played
They're-
college football.
Yeah, their dialogue between each other
They're
feels
very
really
sweet.
organic.
They're very
it
cute.
feels good.
They're
Yeah,
sweet.
I like them a lot.
I believe their relationship.
I'm afraid for their future. I feel like it will
Yeah.
crash and burn.
Yeah.
They're strong right now.
She's,
Yeah, that's
she's
the point.
Cute.
It's gonna
She
be
loves
good
him,
now and it'll be bad later. That's the drama.
but she's tough on him. She's trying to get him.
Yeah, she
to-
refers to herself like
His manager.
She was like, she was like getting on. So we open with him, like he's just laying on the couch eating chips, watching Sports Center.
Because his friend just died.
He's gained 30 pounds.
That's that.
He has gained 30 pounds.
That's part of
Only
it,
30?
I feel.
30 pounds and watched Sports Center. I think
Okay.
he was one of like the kickers or someone who's
So-
kind of beefy in the
He was
beginning.
a defensive lineman.
So
Yeah, he's a
his,
big boy,
we
but
get
now he's a
introduced to
dope
them
boy.
because the wife walks in the house and he's laying on the couch doing nothing.
Oh, it's
and
hot.
she's like, yeah,
She is
she's
very
a hot.
She is
doctor.
like 60 pounds.
She's a hot doctor.
Compared to Grimace here, they're beautiful together.
I just
And
like their
she's-
dialogue. It just seems
That's
organic and good.
Because they're
Yeah.
good actors.
Yeah.
And they're doing good.
Yeah.
And they have a good chemistry. And she's
do.
she's like saying like, you better you need to get off your ass and get off this couch. Because you need to go get a job, dude. Like, I'm done coming home to, like, after my hard day of being a doctor, seeing this. And then
I would be too.
he's like, baby, you're hurting my feelings. And she's
Baby
like,
girl.
you perform better under a tough coach. And he's like, you know what, you're right, I know, but, like, still hurts my feelings. She's like, get over it. I love you. And then he's like, I love you too. And then she's like, look at my titties.
And then,
And
And then
they
the first
tried-
job he tries to get, he just gets.
that worked well.
That worked well.
I mean,
I would
He
like
is
to bring
famous,
up.
'cause
I like
he
to
was
bring
like-
up
Yeah,
that little
he's
bit of
famous.
romance that they had, where they start making out and they're like maybe they're gonna start to plow. And he gets on top and just breaks the chair or the
oh,
table.
That's the
that
second
was
time they made
later.
romance.
Yeah, so,
First time
Did
they
I-
romance,
did I
it was
jump the gun?
fine.
yeah, it was, yeah.
We
it
did not
was,
get to see either of their breasts.
So there was a jump
No
there.
breasts
So it was,
in
so
either
like
of them.
she's,
I don't think
she's,
we'll see her breasts.
she's getting on his
they're
ass.
too
and
classy.
actory. Yeah.
she's getting on him like, dude, you need to get it together. Like, you're too sad right now. I can't keep seeing you like this. So he's like, fuck it, I'll try it. And he goes to a big Chevy dealership in Miami.
Chevy.
Tells him how he used to be like a footballer.
Show
and
that
he's
logo.
like, fuck it, let's go. Similar to why, like, I think The Rock was hired for his job. He's like, oh, you used to play football? That could probably help
Yeah.
us. Let's do it. You'll be a
Opens a
salesman.
lot of doors.
And,
Yeah.
he's charismatic. He's nice. He's friendly.
Yeah.
And,
And
so that-
Forrest
that's
is
why-
pretty charismatic.
I wish
as
we
well.
saw Forrest in more like maybe one sale before he talked to the story-driven character.
Yeah.
Well, we only have 34 minutes, guys.
They
That's
rushed.
true.
They rushed Forrest.
Quick
in.
episodes. I feel like they need to try and go for longer episodes.
It's guys. It's
Maybe.
just how
The story they're trying to
That's
tell, they
how-
tell it too quick.
I think that's
Things jump
kind
too quickly.
They are
I think
blasting.
you guys are forgetting what
by.
pilot episodes are like because we're used to being in the middle of shows.
Pilot episodes, I imagine them being like an hour and a half and like fully fledging out a thing that advances, not
That's
just
not
like
every show. That's
Most
like 4-year
shows.
dramas and stuff. This is a different kind of show.
I don't know, man.
It's a
It's
different.
it's
I think we need to say
2018
that
show.
This is a different kind of show that we're watching. This isn't what we're used to.
Moves
I
quick.
think-
Moves a little bit too quick for me personally.
But sorry.
I think that this show is even an artifact of 2014, and I think that we don't even structure shows like this anymore in 2018.
It's too quick.
Because now, as millennials rule the globe, we're gonna dump you an entire season that you binge and swallow it all up. And in 2014, that wasn't quite the case, and
true.
they're just little half-hour little bites.
I mean,
You
it's
hit the
still-
content differently,
It's
different
still.
times.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's still how like
It
just
was-
HBO works.
It was a different audience. Maybe I'm looking too into it, but it does
I just-
feel like the pacing's a little different.
I've seen a few HBO shows, and I am surprised that Ballers is only like half an hour.
Yeah.
I would imagine like at least like 45 minutes.
a lot of their
With-
lot of their like more like comedy like Insecure is only 30 minutes.
Yeah?
And
I'm more used to Game of Thrones,
But this is
and
a
so
drama.
you watch like no, but it's like silly
Westworld,
too. It's
stuff
not like
like that.
Westworld. It's not Game of Thrones. It's
This is
but
basically Westworld.
Insecure
It's
is
just-
30 minutes.
There's less cowboys.
Everyone's a robot.
There's less.
Sorry.
No, there's the same amount of robots. I would say this is a parallel to Westworld.
Silicon Valley is also
Ballers
30
World?
minutes. Like the shows that aren't as like maybe quote unquote serious as
Okay.
Westworld or
Yeah, I see
Imagine
that.
a
But
Westworld
I
situation
just
where
wanna
you
finish
pay
up.
them
I
a
think
lot
we
of
need to-
money to simulate being The Rock.
Fuck, there's not enough money in the world.
So anyway,
Here's in a mech suit.
he gets a job. He talks to a guy that is, as we discussed, Ricky. You know, he got kicked off of his team because he was banging and beating people up. And there's this guy that came into, I guess we're just gonna call him Forrest. No, Green. I'm gonna call him by his character name, Green.
Forrest
Goes into
Green.
Green's.
Forest Green.
Go into Forrest Green's car dealership. Acts like he's trying to buy a car. Green sees through it. He's actually trying to get intel on Ricky to see if they should recruit him to the team of the Miami Dolphins.
which was my thing. So the person working for the Miami Dolphins was a character from the
Psych.
TV show Psych.
Yeah.
I looked up his actor name, Dule Hill. There's an accent on the E. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's Dule Hill. But I've more seen him as like comedic relief, and I've honestly
he's more
from
serious
Psych
character.
not been 100% into his
He was
character.
he was a straight man in Psych too, though.
Was he the shithead on
He
the
not a
boat?
straight man in this show.
No, I mean like in comedy, like there's the funny man and the straight man. Like in Psych, he's the straight man. He's not like silly.
I see that.
He's not silly.
But he's still just more comedic.
Yeah.
Whereas this, he's more just like fucking going all in on his objective and just doing
He's like
his
a
thing.
coach.
Was he the hard
Not
ass
funny
coach
at
on the
all.
boat?
Yeah.
That was
no
Black guy
black guy, Dule Hill, the guy who came in to buy the
at the
truck
car dealership.
Oh,
for fishing.
I'm gonna pretend like I remember that.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't expect to see him in such. I liked him a lot more in this than I've seen him in Psych. I just liked him being a more just hardline, doing what he needs to do. I was fully convinced by his character. I liked him a lot more in this. Well, it's not the
I don't know if
Dule
I'm
block.
convinced of liking one more than the other, but yeah, that was going on. And then, so then then we're just gonna tell a Green story. So
Yeah.
turns out though, Green,
Instead
like
of
being
him.
just a nice guy, he ended up helping Ricky get his place on the Miami Dolphins team, which we get back to if you want to break down the whole entire episode.
We should.
But-
It was the rock block.
So turns out he was instrumental in that, because he's just he's a good Mississippi Southern boy, and he's just a good friend, and he
From
gave him
Biloxi, I
he gave him
believe.
some props, and then we just
Who
continue
is?
with his story. Green, he's from Mississippi.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Excuse
Nice.
me. So we continue with his story a little bit, and there's like at another point that guy, he comes back to the dealership this time to actually buy a car, but also to try to get him back into a ball.
I like that he bought a truck this time. I
Yeah.
was gonna be pissed if he didn't
I
buy
think
a
it was
truck this time.
he's like, I have to because I've
yeah.
been here twice.
I was
now.
gonna be like, if you come a second time and you don't buy something, you're just
So,
a dick.
yeah, he comes back, and this time he's trying to get Green back in the game. He's like, you only played NFL for 2 years. You still got some fight left in you. And Green's like, you know what? I really like my, as he said, civilian life.
He said civilian
He's like,
life.
I like air
He's in the
conditioning.
military or
Yeah,
something.
he's like, I mean, it's a different kind of lifestyle
Air
than being a
conditioning.
professional athlete.
Yeah.
But he's like, I like air conditioning. I
His
think I want to start a
family.
family. He's like, I like it out here. I like this. But you can see that he is thinking about it because then next shot.
I'm scared of where Green's life is gonna go. It's gonna be sad.
Yeah, because
That-
next
we're
Too
gonna
good.
see-
It's too good now.
We're
It's
gonna
too good.
see how his eyelids start drooping.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
next time
story
we see
element.
him, so after that, he's at home and he's looking at football stuff. You can tell he's like, he told the guy
No,
no.
he was watching tennis.
No, he's like, no, he was like
was
reading.
watching
No,
tennis.
he hit a book. I think he was reading something about like football.
No, the book was about sealing the deal.
No, the book
No,
that he hit under the
he
pillow.
had some like sports zone.
Oh,
book.
Yeah, he had
okay.
like
He
a
had
cat.
tennis on the
Yeah.
screen.
But he was watching
But
tennis.
he was looking at some stuff. I think like thinking about getting back into.
That was a
Okay.
smooth move,
Okay.
switching it to like, business for dummies.
Yeah.
Gotta
And
let
then
my
his-
wife think that I'm being.
He's
Yeah.
doing
So
business.
his wife
I'm doing
gets home,
business.
and she's like, "How you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I had a good day." And he's like, "Talk." And then he hides his sports stuff.
Then he asks if he's fat.
Then he asked because the guy that when he talked to Dule at the dealership, Dule is like, it's not gonna be that hard to get you back in shape. Like you still got it in you.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's body conscious. He's thinking about his
Yeah.
body.
I
and
mean,
he's like,
he's a
baby
doughy
girl.
boy.
And he's like, baby girl, am I fat? And like, do you still like my body? She's like, oh baby, I love your body. You're robust. And
Yeah.
he's like, that's just.
Robust.
I think she likes being slammed by mass.
Yeah.
I think she does.
Because she's like, no, I love your body.
Appreciates the extra mass.
Yeah, the extra force put into it.
Fucking ripping her.
And then she's like, oh, I love it. And he's like, yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
She's sitting on an ottoman, and he climbs his big
Oh, it's a
body
table.
on top. No, it's an ottoman.
Oh.
He climbs his big body on top of her, and he breaks the ottoman.
Perhaps the hottest scene in the episode.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it turns
hottest scene in the
out he
episode.
might be too big because
Yeah.
he broke the ottoman.
Now, what I'm scared of is his future of him being convinced to be a football player. Then Dwayne will sign him, and then things will go poorly for everyone involved.
He's gonna
Dwayne
get
doesn't sign him, he's a
hurt, or
finance
he's
guy.
Well,
gonna
sign him
let-
as a finance guy.
But-
Obviously, this
Also-
guy is gonna be a bit of a
I
fuck
also
up,
think
right?
that it foreshadows.
I think he will try, but his physically won't succeed as
foreshadowed
well
in the
as
club.
he's supposed to.
they foreshadowed this in the club. So they're at the club.
Yeah, he was like, I used to
There's
be a
this
thing.
girl that was like talking. She was like a bottle service bitch.
That's
And
the
she's
girl that slammed in the
"Oh."
bathroom.
Yeah, she's like,
by
"Oh,
Ricky.
Oh, I'm a sexy baby. What
Yeah.
team do you play for? You're big. And he's like, yeah, I used to play, but I'm retired. She's like, bye. And
Yeah.
then she goes and fucks the guy she fucks Ricky.
Yeah.
So,
Smart. He's more successful.
Yeah.
well, he's just currently balling. He's successful in love and life. Green is.
I don't think he's very. I don't think Ricky's very successful.
I'd rather bang Ricky than
He's
than
successful
Forrest.
to an extent. He's
Green-
successful monetarily and I guess professionally, but I feel like
Green is
his
more
inside.
successful. Green is more
He's
successful.
He's got
in
some
life.
growing to do still.
Green, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like his life, his personal life, is more successful, but his like monetary professional career isn't
It's also
exactly what
fine.
he expected it to be.
It's fine.
And he'll
He
get
just
there.
wants to be a baller.
He's got the
'Cause
goods. He's a baller on the inside.
He's doing fine.
He's a baller
It's
on
that
the
he's
inside.
still
His heart's a
surrounded-
baller.
He's surrounded by materialism.
And that's something you can't
And so
fix.
he's gonna lose sight of the good that he has in his life.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm excited to learn more about Dwayne's personal life. We haven't really got into that too much. Who was the woman he was with?
Well,
Because
so
we know
I think
about
we
what
know.
kind, we know a little
So I
bit what
think we
happened with
know.
his life
Let's
and like
move-
what
I
happened.
feel like that was all of episode 1. And
Okay.
in this baller breakdown, we wanted to start off with a couple episodes. So we're
Yeah.
going to episode 2.
Was that all one?
No, that was one.
We
and two.
had 1 and 2.
It was a little bit of both.
It was both.
It was both. But in
I
episode...
have one more thing not crossed
Okay,
off.
well, in episode 2, I think as we mentioned, you guys were like, who's that lady in the bed? Who's that lady? I think
The naked broad.
I think we know who the naked broad is. Because,
I want to say Naked Broad too.
Okay,
Naked Broad.
you have.
Okay.
What do you got, Sloan? Who is this person?
I
don't
think
remember
I know
anything.
who she is. Because
I don't believe you.
when Ricky is transferred over to the Dolphins,
Yes.
and he's like, he went to like his first couple practices, and then he's being interviewed by a hot, sexy lady sports reporter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a little chit chat before the interview, and he asked her if she was still seeing, he asked her if she was still seeing Dwayne. She was like, of course not. You know how that shit goes.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure
He's saying
she
a
was the
sports
naked
reporter?
Yeah, I think
I didn't catch that.
I think she was the lady in the bed.
I knew they were talking about something. I didn't know what it was.
I
That
think
way,
she was
his
laying in the
news
bed.
goes straight to the blogosphere as soon as it happens.
I think he just
I don't
liked
like her. I feel like she's a villain.
I think he just liked that she's a sexy lady that knows
She's
sports,
hot.
so he banged her.
She's a
That
villain.
helps. Maybe. I'm not
So
sure.
it sounded like maybe they were dating. Also, another woman in the show that we haven't talked about is this weird bitch that's dating Ricky and knows he's banging, as she says, sluts in the bathroom.
That was weird.
This- Sluts at the club.
At his very last thing
Skanks
that
at
he
the
went
club.
to, she said no more. She
Yeah.
gave him
Yeah.
an ultimatum.
She like gave him a pass, 'cause
but
he's
she
famous.
knew it was happening to some extent.
And then was like, no, okay, you can
She
cheat
is-
on me a lot, but now we're done.
She is a specific, like, I feel like her character is just a specifically sports gold digger. Because she
Yeah.
knows a lot about
Of course.
sports and football players, and then she knows he's been fucking around, but then she's just
If you
like,
got the body for it, why not go for it?
whatever, baby, I'm still here for you. Because she's in there for that money.
Yeah.
Like, that's what she is.
She's a
De Niro.
touchdown hussy.
And then she
De Niro.
bought him a chain with his money, but pretended it was a
Fucking
gift.
stupid.
Greasy.
That chain was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Riff Raff has better
I've paid
chains.
less money for a Riff Raff chain and been more pleased with the product.
That was poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can ditch that number at this point.
One more thing to notice is
I have a couple
lot of
things.
their money talks poolside. Love it. It's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
expected.
They're
It's
in
what
Miami,
I want.
baby.
Because it,
It kind of fills my pool hole where they're always talking about money next to a pool.
and you can cut away to like a quick casual like bikini butt and
Yeah.
then go back to the
and
money.
then go back to
the money.
meaty dudes talking around a
Uh-huh.
pool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just like
It's
lot-
a good atmosphere for business.
Yeah. Yes,
So like,
absolutely.
I did write down at some point too, just like this show is definitely there's just gonna be a lot of money talk. Like, the show
It's
is
all
about
money.
money.
I barely know what's going on in this show. There's so
I
much
know
football
exactly
and money
what's going
talk
on.
that I'm.
We're not very well versed in football or money.
Yeah.
Neither am I, and I know exactly what's happening in the show, guys.
I know it's happening, but I don't know. I also don't know.
I feel like the weight of
Yeah.
it isn't hitting me. I'm just a very surface level appreciator.
They're just
right now.
throwing out big numbers because they can because it's a TV show.
Yeah. Oh, 300,000.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know if that's normal.
It's a
It
lot.
sounds crazy.
Yeah,
to me.
it's-
no,
like
they
a-
presented that it was crazy, and we've seen it. That is all of like The Rock's savings at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it just doesn't
And
have
they're
as much
talking
weight.
about like have you guys like have just like heard about like the kind of contracts that like athletes get? Like millions of dollars are just kind of tossed
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
It's
That's
crazy.
What,
That's
they're doing
ballers,
big
baby.
money.
It's ballers.
Yeah.
Hashtag ballers.
Another thing that I don't know if it's worth just like looking at what's left of my. I guess I'm just thinking about like positive.
What is this word you tried to write here?
Oh,
I've been looking
so
at it for
the
a
girl
while.
that didn't care that
Spear paint?
No, let me read it. So I was talking about this was about the girl that didn't care that he was cheating because she's in it for the money, and then all of a sudden he walks in the house and she's painting. She's just painting a still life. So she write, "Oh, this bitch paints. She paints. Sports girl paints."
Sports girl paints. That's what
Yeah,
you wrote.
sports girl paints.
That says
My G's
sports
look like
girl?
S's.
It looks like Siri
No,
paint.
Sloan. Doesn't look like an S. That's straight up an S.
When I'm writing fast, my G's turn into S's.
Sports girl paints.
Sports girl paints. So,
Sportsy paints.
Of course, sports girl paints. She can afford the paint.
and she has nothing to do all day except for buy chains and do paintings. So,
yeah, be hot.
Football.
that's what everybody wants.
Babes.
So just like another thing I just like wrote down though, just I know we already mentioned Rob Corddry and his character in the show, but I
Is it
really
the bald
like
man?
him, the bald man.
Okay.
So
He's
I just
good.
like
Refer
I
to
just
him by
wrote
their
down
code
again
names,
by.
He's my favorite.
I'm gonna call him Rob Corddry.
Nobody knows
No,
who that is.
I'm
Besides
gonna
you.
You'll
drop
learn
that.
his name.
No.
You learn Rick Moranis. You'll learn Rob Corddry.
Rick Moranis is different.
Do you know who Rick Moranis is actually?
We
though?
all
Is it
know
Honey, I
Rick
Shrunk the
Moranis.
Kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Rob Corddry?
Corddry.
Yeah, see,
I already forgot it.
Yeah.
Call
It's
him-
just
I
the
know
bald
who he
dude.
is.
Call him
involved
the
with
bald
Rock.
dude that was in like White Castle 2.
Was he in that movie?
It was.
Yeah?
It was really
What the
funny.
fuck are you talking about?
That's how people know.
I get it. You're
Yeah,
making
that's what
stuff
people
up.
know him.
Anyway,
No, he really was.
there wasn't a White Castle movie.
There were.
Are you
3
kidding
White-
me?
Harold and Kumar.
Harold
by
and
the
Kumar
way.
go to White Castle.
Oh, I thought you were just saying White Castle, the movie,
No.
like McDonald's. The movie.
Starring Ronald McDonald.
Anyway,
Rated
so-
R.
I did like so. Just like one more thing about the show because like it's all about jocks and like I thought it was interesting because like there's like a stereotype of jocks like being like kind of homoerotic, like
Yeah.
slapping butts and like yeah we're dudes and we're big.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
muscly.
Being around
And
a bunch of hot dudes all the
I was
time?
thinking about and then
It happens.
So like that was like kind of going in my mind, and then Rob Corddry says to The Rock, "Would you mind if I took you in my mouth right now?"
He did say that. That was very good.
Oh my god.
That was probably my favorite scene of
So,
these
yeah,
episodes.
That
yeah, it
was
was very
wild.
funny. So like, premise was The Rock got a good client. Rob Corddry's like, "I'm gonna suck your dick right now because
Yeah.
I'm really happy. You just got our company money."
Yeah.
The way
And,
he worded that was
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was
very
good. It was good.
I also wrote down just like another quote from The Rock. Why the fuck are you yelling? Just talk to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like seeing The Rock sensitive like that. That was
Yeah,
good.
he
Yeah.
was like, stop.
So
yeah,
you
I like the
brought
big
that
man
up.
being sensitive.
And I was thinking,
It's
this,
good.
I kind of brought that up for a transition because I figured now I can get to. How do you feel about The Rock on the show?
The Rock on the show, I like his character. I think he has a lot of room to expand and really flesh out the role that he has undertaken. I think there's going to be a lot of ups and downs with him
Oh,
at
yeah.
first believing
He's
in
just
his
starting
clients
out.
and his clients letting him down. And it's going to be a lot of back and forth with that. But I think emotionally, there's going to be a lot to do with the character. I fucking hate the character name. I'm not going to call him Spencer ever.
Neither.
Refer to
Okay.
him as The Rock
Okay.
or him with a capital H.
or Lord of Muscles.
Lord of
Zeus.
Muscles, Zeus, really anything besides Daddy, anything besides fucking Spence. But I like his character a lot. I don't love where it's started 100%, but I can see where it's going to go, and I know that I will love it. So that's where I'm at.
I have similar feelings. This show is very
It's 4 seasons so far.
one-dimensional. There's a lot of characters that are meatheads. It's a show for meatheads. It's about money and sports. It's a meathead thing. But The Rock is already showing us he's got a bit of depth here.
Yeah.
He has a past that is a little nuanced, and you can tell
Even the crust is deep.
the crust is deep. You
I
can
even talk about the mantle. That's deep. That's even deeper.
He's got a lot of layers. There's so much to him, and I know that he is going to be fleshed out through the season. Right now, I would not rate him as high as I will later in the season, but I can tell that they're gearing him up to be a
Absolutely.
very well-rounded character.
Yes.
You guys pretty much said it. I just like want to make sure you guys are a little kinder with this. Just to,
Well,
like,
my
I just
opinions are my
No,
opinions.
like, some of the things we talked about is just, like, recognize these are the first couple episodes. We're setting up the premise of something bigger.
We
And
did.
so he's not throwing around, he's not a baller yet. He will become a baller.
He will be a baller.
Again.
If this show does
This
not
show is
end
about-
with boats and breasts and
Yeah.
money being thrown around and Dwayne at least semi-naked, I will be upset.
Yeah, like, the show, it starts with he used to be a baller, and he's going to become a money baller.
I'm trying to
again.
see Dwayne's bread box. I've never seen that before, and I think
We
could.
haven't seen him slam ass in any scene, and I'm
Can
looking
you
forward to
imagine
it.
that dangerously sexy V?
I would
wonder if
have.
he
I
does.
feel like
Showed it on TV.
his V
I
is like a
don't know.
mile
Do you think
long.
he'll do
Oh,
it?
I'm sure.
I
I'm
wonder
sure
if
it
he
comes
just-
up from his belly,
Guys.
from his nipples down to his dick.
Guys, I don't know if I'm just thinking like maybe The Rock doesn't do though like scenes.
That's
like
true.
that.
He is. Yeah.
Because we've never seen him do that in a movie. I think like maybe that's just like a line that he draws. Like he's like, I just don't do that. Like you can see the body, but it's not going to be sexualized.
Some
in that
blessed
kind of
person on
way.
this earth gets to see that.
It's just for his lady. I'm thinking maybe
That's fine, too.
I think
It's
we'll
whatever
see
he's
him.
more
I think we'll
comfortable
see him
doing.
rolling around
Yeah.
in bed with a lady. I think we'll see him kissing. I think we'll.
You don't think
like,
we'll see his balls?
I don't think that it's
I
gonna.
do not think
I
we'll
don't
see
think
his
we're gonna
balls.
get down to bread box. I'm gonna say.
I
I
thought we
don't
would
know if
get
we'll get the bread box.
I want box.
I don't
know if we'll get
I
bread
don't know.
box.
I think that might be a line that he draws.
At least give me some veins.
I will be surprised if we see him in small underwear.
I mean, he used to wear
Because
small
that
underwear as
will
The
let our
Rock.
imaginations kind of run wild
Guys, he
and kind of
was-
talk more about it.
It's a
He
Pandora's
swear
box
small underwear
situation.
is
Once
The
you
Rock.
see that shape,
But
you know what it's
compared
like.
to what he is now, I feel like he's more of an icon. It's more of
That's true.
something you need to like hold to yourself and
Dwayne
kind
is
of
just
think
an
of.
Then it
icon
was a
living.
uniform.
Yeah,
Yeah, and at this point, he might be post genitals.
yeah.
His
But,
genitals are only his call at this point.
That's true. His
He's
genitals
the
are his
man without using them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, I do think like this wasn't a show that was made for me, but
It's not made for me either.
but
Yeah,
I think
I
I,
don't know who
will
it was
enjoy
made
myself, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it because The Rock, and I think they are setting up some stories. I really like a couple of the other characters. It's not just The Rock. I really like Rob Corddry. I really like Green and his wife's
Forrest
characters.
Whitaker is a great.
I think that
Yeah,
there-
Forrest Whitaker's
I think there's
pretty
some
good.
other talent too. So I feel like a lot of the things we review on this podcast is The Rock being the only good part of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is an instance where maybe it's still not the best thing, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe not that it's not the best. It's not geared towards us,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some other talent and I think some decent writing in this that he won't be the only thing carrying it.
Yeah.
So I think
It
we'll have an
wasn't-
okay time getting through this and we'll enjoy it.
It wasn't like offensively terrible.
We
It
can enjoy
wasn't.
it for what
It
it is.
wasn't necessarily for me or you, but it wasn't bad.
I think it's something we won't have a hard time enjoying it for what it is.
No, because
Yeah.
I think too, like a show, like a show is a show. So there are multiple, like a story is told throughout generally one season, maybe two, maybe a few more. So we're just seeing a couple snippets of the character development, like these people are going to go through. And I'm looking forward to see where Dwayne goes. Looking forward to see where the other characters go.
Yeah.
Forrest Green. I'm looking forward to his character. I'm going to be heartbroken at some point. I'm going to be ecstatic at some point. Looking for a lot of ups and downs, and generally, I think I'm pretty excited to see this season. I think it's interesting because we've reviewed movies, and those can only tell so much. I generally like TV shows more than movies because they can do more with character development, and that's one of
different
my
media.
favorite things. So I like seeing how
That's a good
characters
point.
can change based on their experiences.
And I think, well, yeah.
So I look
It's
forward
That
to
is a
seeing.
positive of a show versus a movie. A movie
Yeah,
it
is
is.
better at telling one central narrative and
Yeah.
one point of like
get more-
it's making a point.
Yes.
But then a show is it's going to be more
Can
geared
delve
towards-
into more of the characters'
development.
thoughts, their experiences,
It's
their
your
feelings.
your
This could be
experience,
one of the
your
more-
experience with the characters
Experience
and
with the
you
character,
watch them
exactly.
grow and they grow
Yes.
with you.
This
Yeah.
could be
You
one
just
of the
get more time
more
with them.
well-developed rock characters
Yes.
that we've reviewed.
Yes.
But also, it is interesting though to see that he's still Rock's got to be a good guy.
Rock's still the big
Uh-huh.
guy.
I like
Even
that.
though he's
He's-
a money man who's typically
He's still
a
his
villain.
moral compass is still
He's-
pointing north.
He's usually like a finance manager. That is a villain.
He kind of
It's a villain.
He
But
kind
it's
of
The Rock.
reminds me of Danny Trejo. I don't know if you guys know. A quick little aside here. Danny
Sell me on
Trejo.
this.
Danny Trejo will be in movies as a bad guy, but it's literally in his contract that he needs to be murdered because he does not want to glorify bad behavior. And The Rock, in all but one movie we've seen,
What movie?
Pain and Gain, he was kind of morally.
I
He
will
was
argue.
still-
I knew you were going to bring that up because he's
He's still
still
the
kind
good
of
guy.
like the moral compass, and he was
He's
still
the-
kind
Yeah.
of the one trying to direct them towards not doing bad
See,
things.
yeah, I wouldn't call him a bad guy then. It was
Yeah.
just a little more
Gray.
Gray.
It was darker, but he was still the good one.
Yeah.
Like Danny Trejo,
I could see that being pretty
feel
similar.
like he has
Yeah.
an alignment that needs to be met in every movie.
He's got an alignment.
And you have to cast him in this alignment or he's not going to do it.
It's like Dwayne plays like a D&D orc character, but he plays him as like morally good.
Like a paladin orc.
Yeah.
Holy muscle magic.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I
Just say
imagine
about his
him.
pecs glowing.
Yes, his nipples glow.
Oh my god.
His low nipples.
They are low. They are low.
We didn't see his nipples yet.
I assume they're
his
still
suits
low.
did look good.
Oh, I did kind of. I
They were
forgot about
tailored
that.
well.
I
Yeah.
really liked his outfits in the show.
They were good.
He's like,
The white
'cause
pops on his
he's
color,
on Miami,
his tan color.
You know, he's in Miami. He's wearing a lot of light colors, a lot of light blues,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of just like light but tailored beautifully to his beautiful body. And like, oh my gosh, did you guys see his butt? Did you guys look at his butt?
I looked at his butt.
I'm not a big male ass guy, but
That
I was
dog!
wondering if you would say that.
So firm.
The pants were
The
tailored.
pinstriped pants
Yes.
I
accentuated.
think they were a light plaid.
I think there was stripes.
It was plaid,
Whatever it was,
but
patterned pants.
his pattern pants.
His
were good.
body danced through them.
His butt, even like usually those pants are gonna make your
Yeah.
ass look flat. His booty was still popping.
I've never really picked up on a male.
Dude's got a
anus
stone in those
before.
pants.
Yeah.
He's got a couple stones.
I've got a stone in my pants from watching this.
That's right.
Sloan, are there any closing thoughts you would like to talk about before we kind of wrap this up a little bit?
I think I got to everything I wanted to. I just wanted to like end with some of the positive feelings.
Front and back?
Damn.
Oh, I just
That's a front.
yeah, we got to that. We talked about funeral hose. I think we got just another quote from the show. Rob Corddry saying "hot snatch."
Nice.
But
a good
What
one.
was that other quote with?
The Rock's like This is the Rock's financial advice.
Nice.
Please.
And it was some financial advice. Maybe learn how to save a little bit of money.
Maybe we can find more financial advice through the show. Where to put our investments.
Absolutely.
We're gonna figure out how to invest money with ballers.
We're talking money.
If it drives, flies, floats, or fucks, lease it.
Woo!
Boom.
Lease
You
it,
heard
baby.
it here first, folks.
Lease your ass.
Lease your boats, lease your hose, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to watching more episodes of Ballers. This was just the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So the next one coming out will be probably 3 and 4, I imagine.
3, 4, maybe 5 if we're feeling frisky.
Oh, you want to do them all at once? I thought we'd do like one episode at a time from now on.
Nah, fuck that, right?
Probably
Oh, okay.
probably 2 at a
2 at a
time.
time.
We've got to
Oh,
crush
okay.
more. They're quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gave
that's
us a
true.
good
They're
amount of
30
things to
minutes.
talk about. So
Yeah.
gonna see how it
But
plays out.
I don't know. I feel like this was a good start to the Ballers Breakdown.
Absolutely.
Ballers break
The
down.
only thing I'm worried about with watching 2 in one episode and like talking about one episode are like plot twists that happen. What if something happens crazy in episode 3, but then by episode 4 it's
I
either
think we'll-
resolved or something
Mellow
even
it out.
crazier happens.
I think we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
I
roll
believe
with
in
the
us.
bunches.
We'll figure it out as we go.
We've come this far. We've
Our
never come so
viewers
far.
will take the turns with us.
Yeah.
And I do suggest if you guys do have access to any HBO streaming service, watch the show with us.
Watch the show with us.
Because this is one you can
Absolutely.
also definitely, because I don't know if we're super good about telling you what movie we're going to watch ahead of time, but you know we're going to be watching Ballers.
We're pretty poor at it.
If you want to this is one you know for sure we're going to watch every once in a while. So if you want to follow along
yeah.
and watch some Ballers,
Have we decided what non-Ballers rock material we're going to be viewing soon?
nope.
No.
We don't.
The thing is, we have WrestleMania on our docket, but we don't really have an easy way to watch it.
Do you think the library has it?
Maybe.
I'm just thinking out loud here. We
Libraries exist.
I'll tell you
Libraries
what.
exist.
I'll go check tomorrow.
And we have a
Right.
big library.
I'll go
We
walk
have
over
a
there tomorrow.
really, really good
I'll
library.
go check it out.
All right. So you
Somebody's
might be.
got to have the archive.
We might be seeing WrestleMania sooner than later.
Someone's got to have that geological history somewhere.
Absolutely.
Somebody. It's for science.
So yeah, thank you for everyone who stayed around and listened to our recap of Ballers episode 1 and 2.
We do it for you guys.
Ballers.
Yeah. This is The Rock Block. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Once again, I'm Zach.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Sloan.
And yeah, this is The Rock Block signing off.
Ballers Breakdown.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.